Hello everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about 1978 pennies worth of money. Now what I mean by that is that there are some die varieties that are going to make them worth significantly more than their face value, though those are only found on a select few coins. There's also potential for mint errors. I want to highlight some of those, as well as talk about what sort of upper end grade you would need to get to make it worth submitting. But for all of that information, stick around. I have a PowerPoint presentation as well as some of the backstory and history of these coins. Let's get right into it. So let's just get right into the coin. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the stuff you probably already know. Lincoln is always interesting. He was the first guy to appear on a U.S. coin that was circulating when he was a U.S. person. The back shows the Lincoln Memorial. That was in 1959, and then 1978 coins are going to be copper. So 95% copper means that most of them are worth more than 1 cent. You can have a little more information if you want to pause, but I do want to focus on first the condition when it's really worth certifying. I would say that it has to be mint state 67. You might be able to break even on a bulk batch of like mint state 66, but they're pretty challenging to move. Really, if you know that you're going to get maybe mint state 67 or better, you hit a few 66 pluses, you could make some money. And the big upside is going to be 67 plus or 68. You know, there were over 5 billion made, so it's not really a big rarity thing. On the coins, though, you want to look for these double die obverses. Now, this is a class 6, I want to say distended hub doubling, so it's a little bit more challenging of an explanation, but the coins end up with this extra thickness sort of double die where it's not going to be as seen with like shelving and notching often, but you just want to have different examples available that you can compare the differences. So there's several different types of hub doubling, these class 6 double dies. They're all in the obverse here. The first markers are in the Liberty and In God We Trust. And these are not super valuable. Often the ones with notching will be significantly more valuable just because it's a little tougher to find these, but it's certainly possible. So this is one example. There's a second example here. These are a few die markers on a late die stage, I believe, where there's a little chip in the R and the T and the Y. That's not really the doubling. You can see, I mean, if you have these coins side by side with another one, there's often some concern about like maybe it's just flattening from circulation, but to an experienced eye, you can definitely tell the difference between these. And yeah, a lot of extra thickness there on the date relative to what these 1978s are normally looking like. And again, not a ton of value, but if you have a really nice example, people are probably going to pay $15-20. That sounds pretty reasonable, especially if it's attributed, somebody's taken a look at it. There's also another one where, again, it's just extra thickness. These class 6s are a little tough for newer collectors, but here we can see, in the Liberty, a little bit in the date, there's this extra thickness doubling. Then here we have a last type. There's a few little almost die scratches or whatever over there in the we and the date. Again, more thickness. All of these are pretty similar. Then we get to some of the mint errors. So this one is a double denomination. Somehow this cent was struck on a dime. Most, like normal, well, actually not necessarily. Here, some of the dime, it sort of shows through. Often, almost all of it is struck over, but it's kind of neat how we're able to see what date the dime is, and you can see the 1978 preserved pretty well there. This one sold for $1,000, a little bit over that in a 2006 auction. There's also this struck off center and straight end clip. When they're clipping the planchets and cutting them out of the sort of sheet, sometimes the sheet moves, and in this case it moved towards one of the straight edges of the sheet of metal, and then it gets clipped straight as opposed to hitting all the planchet sheet, the sheet of metal, and hitting all metal. If it moves, then you get a straight clip on the side, obviously, where the side has no longer contains any metal because it's the side. And this was $430. It sold pretty recently. In addition, it was struck off center on this kind of messed up clipped planchet. The last error I'm going to showcase here is a 45% off center coin, really just meaning that the coin was not properly put into the striking chamber, and you get a coin that's struck well off where it's supposed to be. And this one sold for $105. I always like these when you can tell what actual date it was, because if it's no date, there's so many like it, whereas you could conceivably put together a collection of different off-center coins. And these very rarely are found in circulation. Often it's pretty obvious. Sometimes you find some other errors. I'm not really advocating looking for them, but it's certainly a cool part of these coins that I want to showcase and make you guys aware of as well. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I've also got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so you can follow me there. TreasureTownYT.com is the main channel website. Definitely give that a visit. I've got a lot of information about me up there and the channel. CoinGrabBag.com as well currently redirects there, but it's some good opportunities for very fair grab bags, both made by me and other sellers. A lot of different options, so that's a good way to support. There's also TreasureTownCoins.com. In the future, my coin dealing operation will be done out of that website. CoinMeltPrice.com for updates on the melt prices of your coins, both US and world. A lot of resources in that website. And then CoinsMetalsCards.com, being developed right now as a marketplace and news source for coins, metals, cards, and collectibles in general. So I'll see you on my future videos. Looking forward to seeing you there, and hope you have a good day.